Good morning, good morning, good morning, loves. It's yours truly, Dr. K. It is Freedom Friday. It is Freedom Friday. We're going to say Friday. We are here. We're in the house. We are ready to get this party started. Listen, this is part two to a conversation that we were having with my beautiful sister, Sabrina Darling. And we were talking about the fact that Sabrina had two sons that she was raising. So she was a caregiver of her sons who have sickle cell. Good morning. Come on in, come on in, come on in. So I want to make sure that we have everybody ready. And I see we got Cleveland, Ohio in the house. We got Atlanta, Georgia in the house. Good morning, North Carolina in the house. We have my sister Shanita Ponton in the house. So we're about to get in. I'm going to bring my sister on so we can go ahead and we can already be here together as we're introducing and welcoming everybody in. Good morning, Sabrina. Good morning. Good
Good
morning.
morning. How are y'all?
Girl, listen, I'm looking. We have Facebook in the house. We got YouTube.
Yes.
Hey, guys,
Yes.
as you're coming on, do us a favor, like and share and tag a friend because we know that this conversation is just not unique to Sabrina and Katrina. It's not just unique to you. You know somebody who has taken care of a child, a sibling, a parent, a loved one, whatever it may be. On Monday, for Motivation Monday, my sister shared her testimony and she talked through, what it was like finding out that her sons had sickle cell and being in the hospital and making sure she was attentive. She did her research, but she also talked about her obedience when God said to move, when God said to do a thing. And we got at the end of that conversation, Sabrina, and I asked the question about what does it look like on the side of the caregiver? Because
Yes.
sometimes we forget as caregivers
Yes.
that we have given so much, and sometimes it might be a year, sometimes it might be a lifetime, and not just our babies or our family members that have a physical ailment, but what about those who have children that are autistic, who have children that are bipolar,
Yes.
schizophrenic? These are lifelong
Yes.
situations. It doesn't stop once they graduate, it doesn't stop once a thing happens. Now
Yes.
life it looks different. We have to get care together, how they gonna live if they want to live on their own. Just here in Atlanta, it must have been 2 days ago or yesterday, I was watching on the news and it was a parent, a young lady, and her son, she had called the police according to her report. This is not our facts, this is according to what was posted on the news. And she was like, I called the police and we waited for 2 hours because he was having a mental crisis. And
Wow.
he ended up leaving his apartment, going to a restaurant where he was already not stable, and some things transpired and they ended up calling the police, and shots were fired in this upscale, I would say, restaurant. And her son ended up being killed.
Oh, wow.
But as the witnesses in the restaurant, it was some other stuff going on. So, it's scary. And we got a good morning, Houston, Georgia in the house. Good morning, Boudreaux. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, Tiff. So, Sabrina, the parent, the
Yes.
caregiver, what is it like on that side? Because this morning I was writing and I just wrote down some words that popped into my mind: guilt, tired,
Mm-hmm.
frustrated, inadequate, hopeless. Like, what is it like on that side? Because many people don't talk about it. The caregiver goes to the doctor, to the appointments, has everything situated and ready, but sometimes the caregiver cries in silence.
Yes. And that's pretty much what it is. Those words were on point. Guilt, because I think guilt would be one of the major ones,
Mm-hmm.
because you want to know, like, when you're pregnant, you want to feel like, oh, I'm eating the right things, I'm doing the right things. It starts from, when you're pregnant, and you go to the doctors and you're wanting to find out, okay, is everything okay with me personally.
Right.
From that, if I would start from there, um almost at the time when it's around the time when they give you that liquid that you have to take, I can't remember
The glucose,
the
I think it is, or
glucose,
something like
the
that. Yeah.
glucose. And when I got my results back, they said, hey, listen, this might be a possibility, and we need to get dad in here to make sure. And it was like, okay, we could never coordinate the times. It was just, and I said, wow. So he said, we'll just go with it, but this is what it's looking like. So now that guilt, because what was I doing wrong? What was was I not
Mm,
eating? Was I not doing this? You know, and then once you have them, they're fine. And you know, depending on it, with sickle cell in particular,
right.
you wonder, they don't start off right away. You know, they don't start off right away. So you like, good, you know, thank you, Lord.
We
And
made
then
it.
boom.
Yes.
And then, and so even, you know, in the hospitals and stuff, you wonder if, thinking back now, moving forward, thinking back, should I have changed the diet? Should I have done, it's so many things. Even now, my boys are adults, like they're grown men. They got kids. They, well, one is expecting and the other one has a kid. And I'm wondering, is there something that I could have done? Should I have been more proactive? You know, I don't know if all of you, any of you heard about Dr. Sebi, but I was heavy into
Yeah.
Dr. Sebi.
Yep.
And I'm
I've heard
like,
it.
this man cured sickle cell. What? I got on the phone, I called. I told my pastor at the time, and he got on the phone. He was, you know, calling. We got in contact with his wife. Her name is his ex-wife.
Okay.
And she was the one behind the whole, you know, she was the one in the kitchen fi- making the herbs and the stuff to cure these diseases that people had. And so she came out, she spoke with us. You know, it was one Sunday that we had her to come out. And I'm telling my boys, now at this time they're older, so you can't force it to them, but it's
Yeah.
still, as a parent, you like, I should have made them do it. I should have snuck it in their food. I should have, you know, you're never beyond that point of feeling guilty for something, one thing or another, you know, that
Mhm.
happens. Hopeless, you know, when you're a strong parent, you know, moms, we develop that, we, you know, we become strong for our children.
Amen.
And at some point, it's like that with sickle cell in particular, like I say, and I could think of anything else like cancer and other stuff.
Hmm.
You feel like, I can't do nothing. It's like you feel very hopeless. You feel weak. You know, it's almost like, okay, Lord, I'm here. And yes, you do cry in silent, because at the end of the day, regardless of how you feel, you know you have to be strong for that person.
Amen.
So it's, you know, it's like fight or flight. And
Mm.
when you're in that position, you know, 9 times out of 10, you're going to fight. And, you know, you're not going to switch out on your kids. You're not going to abandon and
Yeah.
leave
Now
your
we
kids.
now we're
So
not tapping
flight
out.
is not an option.
It's definitely not an option. I go back to thinking about. I heard you say it when we talked, and I can see my sister, and even I have friends who have parents who are at the onset, or they have dementia or Alzheimer's and all of these different things, and it's like, dang, what do I do? Or I'm sitting here and I'm watching them, and it's nothing. That's what we do. Look at my sister, girl, you better come on and get on out my mouth. You endure. You endure
Yes.
until the end. It's like you're
And when it
sitting there and it's
can.
like, what do I, how do
Yes.
I do it? And we were talking this morning. The enemy will try to tell you that you by yourself in it, that
Yes.
nobody cares, that you're in this situation, that nobody is coming to your rescue. Because some of us, we're sitting and we're waiting on family members or somebody to come. It might be a father, it might be a sibling or whatever, to come and say, hey, you need a break. And they never come and say, hey, do you
Yes.
need a break? But we got to open our mouths and say, hey, I need help. This is
Yes.
not a one woman show, this is not a one man show. I need your
Mm-hmm.
help, because I'm sitting here day in and day out, and I'm watching this person who I love,
Yeah.
suffer, have pain, go through different things, not remember if it's Alzheimer's or dementia, whatever it is. Like, hey, you have to rally the troops. You have to tell people,
Yes.
what you want. And sometimes we get so ornery. Sometimes
Yes.
we get in situations where it's like, I'm not going to ask them for nothing. I'm not going to tell nobody nothing.
Yep.
I'm just going to do it by myself. And that's the enemy getting in our head
Mm-hmm.
saying, oh, you got to be by yourself. They don't care about you. They don't care what you're going through. He wants to isolate us so he can get in here.
Yes. Yes.
That's the mind is the battleground. So when we
Yes.
get to that situation and it's like, you know what, that's right, a lot of times we suffer in silence, but we don't
Yes.
have to suffer in silence. Stop trying to be strong and then getting to the doctor yourself and they're like, your blood
Yes.
pressure up, this is going on, and you're like, I don't know what happened. Well, you do know what happened. You were carrying
Mhm.
it all, you were holding it all, and you were suffering in silence, waiting on somebody who
Mhm.
is living their life and going and being and
Yes.
doing and looking at you saying, oh, she got it, he got it.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna let them have it. No, throw out and ask for that lifeline because
Yes.
you need that break. You need that person to come and tap in when
Yes.
you're sitting in the hospital and say, you know what, let me
Yes.
just walk outside and get some fresh air.
Yeah.
Let
A
me
lot of
have
time.
a minute.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
A lot of times you also feel like when you're in the situation, whether you're in the hospital, whether you're in like at home caring for this person, a lot of times you feel like you call on somebody but they wouldn't understand, or you don't want to interrupt anyone's flow, because you know how you feel and you're
Amen.
in it. So unless you know that there's somebody that is exclusive and know exactly what you're going through, like I would call on, um say for instance, at this point, I know that at some point in time Steph was there in it with her brother. So if
Right.
I really need, I would have to call on her, or I would call on someone else, that I know is going through. I would expect someone that has a baby that is going, like Tiff, to call on me, say, hey, listen, I'm in the hot, what am I dealing with? How do I talk to you? I don't know what to do. But while you're in it, you really don't think, you
Mm,
really don't know, because like I said, when you if you've ever been in a fight before, if you're in a fight with somebody, you're not thinking like all those people that said, girl, I got your back. If you need me, they could be standing right there and you're not thinking, you're just expecting them to just jump in and just do
yes.
it. You don't want to, not that you don't want to call on them, but you're like, okay, well, if they're busy, if they're free, they're going to call me. They're going to say you need anything. And if you never get that call, then you don't look for it until,
Yeah.
afterwards. You just kind of rebuild and you just bounce back, and be prepared for the next time, because, as well, my mom, my sister and myself are home with my mom. So it's not necessary. It's not sickle cell is diabetes as well. And, so we caretakers once again. So I've never left out of that stage of
Wait a minute, because I
fighting.
don't want nobody to miss that. So
Yeah.
you have four children. Your two boys are adults now, and so
Hmm.
you have been with them as they've dealt with their bouts of sickle cell, and you still are with them, and now your
Yeah.
mom.
Yeah.
So the role of caregiver, it continues.
Yeah.
And sometimes, I
Yes.
know people look for, okay, when do I get my time or when is it? And if
Yeah.
you're in that role, and I see
Yeah.
Yvonne just came on, and Yvonne is, she has little Daryl. Daryl
Okay.
Downs'
Yeah.
son.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Yvonne, you can weigh in the comments because she knows what it was like when Daryl was in the hospital. Needing
Hmm.
that person to be there. I see my sister Bernadette Clark Wright is on. So, and Tiff just say, it never ends.
Yeah. It
But you're
doesn't.
equipped. You're ready.
Yeah.
You're equipped.
Yeah. You never ever come out of that. And I was talking to one of the other young ladies that I told you about. We were talking and I said it's so funny because you never ever come out of that fight or flight situation when you're a
Mm,
caretaker, especially when it's your child.
come on
You
now.
never come out of it. Even when, like I'm sure with other people that I talked to, and with her she's had kids that have transitioned,
Mm,
and you're always in that fight or flight mode where you're more so fight than flight. And
amen.
so they were like, okay, you can relax, you can calm down, they're not in the hospital anymore, so you're good. No, I'm not good, because I have to stay ahead of the 8 ball.
Come on now.
I cannot allow myself to be, like we say, caught slipping. I always have to stay woke. And I believe, and that's where the guilt comes in again, many times, because I feel like, okay, they're good. 3, 4, 5 years, they have not had a crisis. They get little aches and pains, but no crisis. So I
Mm-hmm.
feel like that guilt set back in when recently they were in there, and it was like a double whammy for both of them. I'm like, I got caught slipping. I'm the mom who, if I know that, okay, y'all need to detox your blood, so I'm gonna make the green juice. I'm gonna bring it to you. You need to drink this. You can't say that I did not give it to you. I'm gonna make y'all enough, so whatever it is that I know, you need to have this. And
Amen.
for a while, I just got chill, like, Lord, okay, this what we doing. Not only did they live past 21,
Come on now.
the oldest one almost 30.
Hey,
So it's
with child, so
with child.
with child. You see, Steph just said, I always told my mom she's strong, day in and day out at the hospital, sleeping
Yes,
there and going to
yes,
work from the hospital. She was
yes.
working because I remember
Yep,
she worked for Bacardi. So
yep,
yeah, she would be there and just, she
yep,
had Steph at home, Daryl in the hospital,
yep.
doing, making sure doing what she needed to do.
Yeah.
So, and I see Jamara is on this morning. 12 years
Hey,
later,
hey.
it's now taking a toll on my mental. During
Yes,
our unique journey, I was living in the moment. It's now that I'm able
yes.
to sit in all the trauma my daughter
Mm-hmm.
endured as well as myself. And
Yes,
just so you guys know, Jamara Palmer will be our guest on
yes.
Monday. So
Amazing.
in Unique Warriors. So
You
make
don't
sure
want to
y'all
miss
are here
this.
on Monday because
Yes,
my sister has a story, a
yes,
powerful one. You see, she put up there unique moms and unique warriors
yes,
indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes.
yes. She was the
Girl.
one that I explained, y'all. Like, I had to change the way, and this is recently since I met her. I had to stop calling the sickle cell a disability. I had to stop.
Mm,
It's a unique ability.
come on now.
It's a unique ability, and that I got that from her. I'm a unique mom. I'm a warrior mom. So you give it power. You give your fight against that thing power, so that
Amen.
it doesn't overwhelm you. When you're a warrior, and there's a difference between being a warrior and actually being a soldier. And the Holy Spirit gave me that too. There's a big difference, because if you think about a soldier is trained. They're already programmed for war. They already know, they've been in training. They've been put in situations beforehand, so that they know what to expect mentally as well as physically. Now, when they actually get in it, they may see some things that they feel they may not have been. Hold on a second. I'm sorry, y'all. This light is annoying me. Hold on. Oh, it's coming from, I don't know where it's coming from, but
Yeah, I
yeah.
see
Okay, let me turn
something
this
over
light.
there. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
there
I'm
we
in the
go.
car, y'all. but a warrior is never prepared for the fight. They are out there. They're in the woods. They're in wherever environment that they're placed in. Chances are they live in it. They never come out of it. Once a warrior, you're always a warrior, and you're not trained for it. You just prepare for battle. And when you're in battle, it's like you just develop those skills. Now, the training would not be a structured type of training. um it starts out from when you're younger. If you ever look up a warrior and what they do in their abilities, it's way different from a soldier. So yes, warriors, I had to look up. I
Come
love
on,
playing with
y'all.
words. I love looking at words. And yeah, warrior was one of those things. I said, you know what, yes, I'm a warrior, because at the end of the day, this don't stop for me. I live this every day. I'm expecting. So
Mm.
I'm in training even when the soldiers go home to see their wives. Warriors are
Ooh,
still
I
out
love
there.
it. I
They
love
still
it.
out there on the field. They don't get to
Hey,
leave.
always ready. I see Yvonne say always ready
Yes,
for work at any time, whenever it's time, because you don't know, you don't get to plan this thing out. Shanita
exactly.
says, warrior strong in battle. And
Yes.
what did Yvonne, I wasn't trained for it, I was built for it. Come on
There
now.
you go.
That right there,
There you
my
go.
sister. Yes.
Yes. Yes. That part. So
Yeah. Even
yeah,
Steph said warriors have to fight a different
they
battle.
fight a different. You're
Yeah.
right. You're absolutely right. So, but yeah, it's and not only that, but as a caregiver, you sometimes you just go by what your, like, how do I put this? I don't want to say your surroundings or whatever. Like, we know that, okay, you have to study to show yourself approved.
Come on now.
You have to, do your due diligence. But at the time, you still have a life. So
Mm,
you try to balance that. You try to balance, okay, I need to keep myself educated on sickle cell. I need to keep myself educated on what they're doing now to help them, be able to deal with the pain and everything. Because like when I started with my boys, there wasn't that much. And since they have been in the hospital, I'm sorry, since they've been with this unique ability, um, I could say honestly, they've been on three different medications. Three. And it's like trial and error. And you just, okay, this didn't work. But at the same time, to flip that with the kids, they're going through the same thing. So it's trial and error for you, but they're actually the one that is enduring these kids, these young adults. So now at the point when they get to like 20, 18, that 18 to 20 something years old, they're like, I'm done. Like, I'm done. I'm not taking
mm,
another new medication because it's the same thing. It's the same.
mm.
So, and that's where we are right now with my boys. That's where I am as their mom. Like,
Right.
okay, you know what? We never really fully gave this Dr. Sebi thing a try. You know, Low key, I do that. I do juice. I have transitioned a lot of things from out of my diet. And they're starting to see it now. Um, it's like holistic is really the way to go. I have a friend of mine that my one of my good friends too. She had a sister that had about 5 different types of cancer. Like,
Mm.
it's almost like one day she was, she's fine, and then the other day her hands, her feet, everything's swelling up huge. She can't wear shoes anymore. Her face, you don't even know her face. And she went and they told her it was like, I want to say 5 different types of cancer.
Oh my God.
And she jumped in. She would not, she was like, I'll let you in to massage her into that room, hospital room. You and I could both pray, because she's really that person that, let's pray. Don't tell me, no, forget it. Let's pray.
Right.
She said, but other than that, I'm not letting anybody in there. The doctors I told them, listen, she don't even need that food. And she was literally juicing for her sister the whole time she was in there. The
Mm,
greens, everything she
mm.
needed. And her sister bounced back like this. And even the doctors were like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? And she said, I'm just juicing. I'm giving her the berries, I'm giving her the greens, I'm giving her the ginger, the turmeric, all of this stuff that we know, we hear about. But because we don't usually, we're not, it's not Burger King, it's not Chick-fil-A,
Girl,
it's not,
it's not gonna be fast. It's gonna take some time. I like you said
yeah.
something, and I see your shirt, Sabrina, and at the bottom of the screen, I have it ticking across with these hands. With these hands, she's a licensed massage therapist, and she has her own company. So you can see her shirt with her logo. And the beauty of Sabrina doing the massages, whether it be a relaxation massage or whatever it is she does have anointed hands. She is coming in laying hands, whether people know it, whether they want it, and or not. She's doing that. But Sabrina, I wanted to ask you something. As we always, when we talk, it's always such good conversation. We're getting closer to the top of the hour. So we were talking about the caregivers and what goes on and how they feel. What do you do for you? How do you get your time? Because as of late, I've seen you doing some things, with the modeling, but I've also seen you staying connected with other movements and things of that nature. So, what do you do for yourself? Because yes, we're going to step in. We're going to be there, and it is a 24-hour situation. We can't take time off, but within that 24 hours, there is some time for us to be able to do something for us. So What is for Sabrina?
For me, I had to realize that at the beginning of this year, um, even honestly, even getting massages myself,
Mm,
it felt good. Like, to get the massage, to relax, and then you walk away, and it's like the enemy sitting there, like as soon as she step out this door, like ready to swing on you. Like, boom, this is my reality. So I had to start with mental, and the mental part of it for me, and it could be something different for anyone else, but I realized that I loved going to the beach, and
mm,
I love working out. I don't, when I was working out because I needed to lose weight or I needed to do this, it wasn't working. But when I switched that thing and I realized that, and there's a whole science behind the working out as well, with the endorphins and everything that, it produces, it just made me feel so much better. And no, I didn't work out at night, um but I have to get up early in the morning, and usually it's not easy, but I get up and I go to the gym. When you're at the gym, when you're with somebody who is holding you accountable, like your trainer,
and
he some where you at, like what you doing, you come, that accountability. Even though my workout partners, they'll see me on it like, yeah, you wasn't at the gym today, what's up, what's going on? But it's more mental than anything. So that's what helps me. Walks. If I can get to the beach every day, I would be on the beach.
I love it.
And if not, just to hear the sounds of the
Yeah.
ocean, which I do. And that's pretty much about it. I mean, because I don't have time. Let me change that. I don't make time
Come
to
on
go
now.
do my massages, because massages do help. I was in massage school, and mentally, I think I was on a whole nother level. We got massages every day, Monday through
Wow.
Friday. And that was a game changer. So
Mm,
yes, massaging as often as you can do it does help. Some people, like, I'm when I can't get a massage, you can massage my feet. I don't care. I'll go get a pedicure and tell them, listen, if it's going to take you a lot of time to do this polish, don't even worry about it. All I need you to do is massage my feet.
girl, come on now.
That's it. So it's little things that we know. I journal. Journal does. I have a million. Remember back in the days, the diaries with the little lock and key?
With the little
Well,
locks.
I had a million of those diaries, and my mom probably was like, if you buy one more diary, I have never finished it. I'm inspired by, if I get a new thought, a trainer, I'll write down. But if I see a pretty diary or journal, I have my prayer journal where I do my prayers and my studies. I have my business journal where any business idea, I'm putting that on
Mm-hmm.
there. And then, so I journal right now, and I color. My journals are very colorful.
Mm.
um you know I see things in color, so those are some of the things that really do help me. And
Amen.
while I'm in the hospital, I would journal. And I remember writing at the time. I think I wrote a rap in the thing. I love, because the Lord was just speaking to me, and I heard it in the form of a rap. And I totally took the whole it was a secular song, as we would call it, but it was a rap song. I think y'all might know it. It's called Becky. But I took that whole song, and my son was like, "Are you serious, Ma?" I was like, "It sounds good though, don't it?" And I never,
Because your
I'm not
sons
gonna.
are artists, right?
Yes,
Both of
they
your
are.
sons are musical artists.
Yes, they are the grandsons of Bob Marley. From birth, they've always been very musically inclined,
Amen.
making beats off of the PlayStation. We
Amen.
had drums, we had all kind of stuff, pianos. They've always been, and never had a lesson in their life. So now that's what they do. They live and breathe the studio. They have some stuff that they come up with the lyrics. I'm like, oh God. But
And
hey,
Sabrina, you just
I'm
kind of
old.
glossed over it. She said her sons are the grandsons of Bob Marley. Let's be
Yes.
clear. They have never had any formal musical training, but they are performing artists,
Yes.
not just playing around with it, like
Yes.
full-fledged artists. Despite
Yes.
sickle cell, despite whatever else, they're
Yes.
still out there doing it.
Yes.
Paid artists.
Yes. Yes.
I love
Yes.
it.
So I'm definitely, I want to reach out to, now that you mentioned that, I do want to reach out to any and everyone. Step, Tiff, there's another young lady that I'm going to reach out to that are warrior moms and that
Amen.
have unique warriors, sickle cell warriors. And I spoke with them. They're going to be doing some things. They tend to pull the kids in. So
Mm.
listen, y'all need to get in and start. You may not know much about what you're doing, but for the simple fact that young boys can see y'all out there on stage and they're like, oh my gosh, like they're going to be inspired. They listen to rap. Some of the times when they're saying stuff, I'm like, I got to rewind it. What did they say? What did they say? Give me the words, because it's like rap music ain't the same. So
Come on
I'm
now.
like, I can't keep up. So yes, this is inspires, young kids. And I just feel like there should be, if you have a gift, it's your due diligence to give that gift back. God didn't give us gifts for us to keep it to ourselves or profit off of. We have to give it back.
Amen.
And so, yeah, you don't know how many lives they can change with this. So I'm looking forward. I definitely want to reach out. I remember somebody said that in the last live where there's a COA or some kind of organization that is really good with sickle cell patients. So that's what I am definitely doing this year, going into those organizations. I researched the lady that she's a massage therapist, and I know we
Okay.
over. I'm so sorry,
No, you're
but
fine. You're
she's a
fine.
massage therapist. She is in the UK, and I read up about her where the massaging does help with the circulation, and I already knew that. But she put herself in position on this oncology at this hospital. They hired her full time,
Come on
and
now.
she has a staff, and now she works in the hospitals with these patients that when they're going through crisis, she show up on the scene in between, with the medication. And they found that they depend less on the medication when they're getting those regular massages. So that's why I said, yeah, it's time. It's time.
Yeah, we
It's
can't
time.
just sit back and, one of the things as we get ready to wrap up, Sabrina, that I love from the beginning of us having our conversations is that you said you did the research. You didn't wait for anybody
Yeah.
to come and tell you or anything. You went out and you're finding out about somebody in the UK. You're able to connect with beautiful spirits, such as Jamara
Yes.
Palmer and other women out there. And you know that it's a God thing. It's a divine connection,
Yeah.
and not just dropping in for a minute, but staying connected, being that
Yes.
accountability partner, because we understand how the enemy will try to twist the mind and make a person feel like they're by
Yep.
themselves. So I greatly applaud you and I appreciate you for everything that you're doing. I know it's not the
Thank
last
you.
time that we will talk. Family, you
Yeah.
see at the bottom scrolling, if you want to follow Sabrina on Facebook, she is Sabrina Darling. On IG,
Yeah.
is with underscore these underscore hands underscore LMT underscore LLC. So please follow her,
Yes.
reach out, DM her. I promise you, she will
Yes.
definitely connect with you. There is so much information out there. There's so much that we can do. We are not going to be victims. We are victors. We are
Yes.
warriors,
Yes.
not just soldiers. We are warriors. We
Warriors.
don't work through this thing, and we acknowledge the unique abilities of our children, our loved ones, and our
Yes.
unique abilities. So, Sabrina, I thank you for being on with me this morning, my sister and family.
Yes.
Tune in on Monday because we are going to have Jamara Palmer of Unique
Yes.
Warriors with her story. And hey, we are not by ourselves. We're gonna get this thing going.
Nope.
There she go. Look,
Yes.
awesome guys. So we love you,
Yes.
family. Y'all be blessed. Sabrina, have a fantastic day.
Yes.
We'll talk soon,
See
sis.
y'all
And
later.
I'll see you in a week
See
or
you
two. I'll
later.
see you in 2 weeks.
Yes. All righty.
All right, love you.
See you later.
Bye bye.